Hello, Monetization Nation. I'm Nathan Gwilliam, your host. Tim Notke, a high school basketball coach, said, quote, "Hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard," unquote. This is so true in business. For many years, I was part of a group of very successful entrepreneurs, more than 100 very successful entrepreneurs. We would meet together a couple of times a year and judge business plan competitions and entrepreneurship competitions and have speakers and it was an amazing group to be part of. And when I participated in that group, there was kind of a joke among the members of the group that they had to work hard to help their success from not ruining their children. I remember one successful entrepreneur who made a lot of money in a tech company he built and sold. And when his son graduated from high school, and he told his dad, "I don't need to go to college because you've got plenty of money." And you see how that money kind of creates an entitlement with the next generation of that family. And so the group of very successful entrepreneurs worked very hard to help prevent that from happening. I obviously have not seen anywhere near the same success as some of those people in that group. But I've tried very hard with my daughters to not allow that to hurt them in a negative way. For example, my youngest daughter, who loves to dance and does a lot of hours of dance lessons and practice each week, that's expensive. And even though I could pay for all of it, the deal that I have with her is that she has to earn a certain percentage of it. I think it's about 25% of all the costs for her dance. And so we have her do jobs around the house. She pulls weeds. She cleaned the garage today. And she has a certain number of hours she has to do that she's committed to do to earn her portion so that she can have the privilege to dance. And that isn't there because we want her to earn the money. That deal that we have with her is there because we don't want to ruin her. We don't want to create entitlement in her. We want to teach her the superpower of hard work because we believe that hard work beats out natural talent. This is a particularly relevant quote for me in my life, and I feel it has defined a lot of the successes in my life. My father would take me to go run 10K races with him, and I remember even winning those 10K races in my age division, and it wasn't because I was the fastest of all of the kids my age, but it was because my father helped me to train more than any of the other kids my age, and that hard work helped me to win those races. That's been true in many different situations of my life. I have a concern for new entrepreneurs who I hear making statements like, "I want to be an entrepreneur because I don't want to have to work very much." And that scares me. In all of these successful entrepreneurs that I've known and worked with, and all of the entrepreneurs that I've had on my show, I have never, that I know of, met or spoken with an entrepreneur who has not had to work very hard. What ends up happening is an entrepreneur creates a business and puts in a lot of hard work and creates something amazing. And then that business reaches a spot where the entrepreneur can hire other people to run the operation. And that entrepreneur has the freedom to start taking a lot of money out of that company and to start increasing the amount of travel and recreation and entertainment that entrepreneur can do, and start reducing the number of hours that the entrepreneur has to put in at work. And then the next generation comes along, and the next generation doesn't see how the entrepreneur started, all the hours that the entrepreneur put in at the beginning to get the business established, the time when the entrepreneur didn't have the money to hire all those people to do it for him, and the entrepreneur didn't have the money to do all the travel and he still had to work a lot of hours and couldn't take all the time off to do all of the entertainment and recreation. And so the next generation comes along and they want to start where he is now. and they don't want to start where he was when he created a successful business. And I think that's very damaging and detrimental. And if you're a new entrepreneur and you're wanting to be an entrepreneur because you don't want to work hard, then you might want to think twice about that. And entrepreneurship may not be the right place for you, because I do not know personally any successful entrepreneurs that have not had to work very hard. Now, if you're willing to work hard, you have a very good chance of becoming successful and reaching that spot where you don't have to put in the hours. But that is the result of what comes after you've worked hard. Let me give you a few examples of this. Many of us look at the Beatles as one of the most successful bands in the history of music. But the Beatles didn't just become an overnight success. The Beatles became so good in great part because they had to perform their music for 4 hours every day during their 2-year stint in Hamburg. Oprah Winfrey is a very hard worker as well. She said, quote, "I would never see daylight. I'd come into work at 5:30 in the morning when it was dark and leave at 7 or 8 when it was dark." Unquote, source Medium. We look at these people that are successful and think that it just happened overnight, but it is usually a result of a lot of hard work. Michael Jordan was famous for his work ethic. People tell stories about how he would not leave the gym until he had made 100 free throws. When I was in college, I didn't have the luxury of someone else paying for my college education for me. And I really needed that scholarship. And I wasn't the smartest of all of my peers in college, but I knew I could work hard. And I kind of feel that I can outwork anybody. And so I worked really hard on my grades and very regularly stayed in the library until they closed the library. And as a result, after my freshman year in college, I received the largest private academic scholarship from the entire university, even though I wasn't the smartest one there. When I started my first business, I had very, very little money. And I remember working until I couldn't stay awake anymore and falling asleep under my desk. And when the employees came in the morning, they'd turn on vacuums and try to wake me up. That's what entrepreneurship looks like for most people in the beginning. We cannot go into entrepreneurship because we don't want to work very much. If we do that, we are probably going to fail. We need to set our expectations and be the hardest worker in the building. Michael Phelps, probably the best swimmer in the history of the sport, said, "There will be obstacles, there will be doubters, there will be mistakes, but with hard work, there are no limits." If you enjoyed this episode, you can follow Monetization Nation on our Facebook group, on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, or on your favorite podcast platform. You can also download my free ebook about passion marketing at passionmarketing.com. Thank you for joining me for this episode, and I wish you success as you work hard and beat out the people that might have more natural talent.